Okay, perfect. So I'm excited about this meeting tonight. Autumn and Hannah and Amber and Hillary and I have been working hard to put kind of a comprehensive agenda together. So we're excited to go over all this stuff with you. I'm personally glad that it's November and that October's over because it was a terrible month. And I'm looking forward to this month. And this month I see really good things for our team. And we're going into the holidays, which a lot of people think of it as the slow time, but actually we can do really well during the holidays because people are getting ready for their holiday parties. They're terrified of gaining weight during the holidays. Their Christmas shopping, that kind of thing. So we're going to go over a couple things. So the big objective right now is we want you to understand how to maximize our compensation plan. And so that's why we're going to go over the charting and this whole bonus point system thing. So you can make a ton of extra money with this November promotion if it's done correctly. So I want to go over that. So we're definitely going to go over that. And then we are going to go over the November game plan. Autumn is going to go over how to leverage Instagram, social media do's and don'ts. And then I'm going to go over how I sign so many distributors. I'm going to try to make that short because I think that's a training in itself, but I'll do like a quick overview. Same thing, Hannah's going to do that for adding LCs and volume. So it's just going to be a smaller overview, and then we'll do probably an hour-long training another time. What an average day should look like. And then we want you guys to ask us questions. We want to get feedback on like the team page, what you need from us, like what we could do better, what you like, what you don't like, that kind of thing. So feel free to ask questions throughout the meeting. Hannah put together a chat. So do you have everybody on there, Hannah? Or do you need us to add anybody? Okay, I think everybody's on there. Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So the November game plan, if you haven't seen this yet, this is in your eSuite. This is probably one of the best ones that they've done. This is right when you log into your eSuite. It's at the very top, I believe. And it's 3 pages long, 2 pages long, but it goes over stuff from a leadership perspective. So like the whole first page is like, what can you do as a leader for your team, which is new. They've never really done this. It's always been like, what are your personal goals? What are you going to do this month? So the whole first page is about what you can do as a leader if you have any distributors underneath you. And then the second page is about your personal goals. So this right here says like, make a list of 5 people that you know that do keto that you could talk to about the keto coffee. And then who do you know that could use unlimited bonuses? So this is kind of where you want to put the people that are on your dream team or your customer team that you want to get to join your team this month, or customers. And then at the bottom, it's personal development. I really like how they laid this out. The bottom has a recommended reading list. So for those of you guys who know, I'm like a huge bookworm. Like I read a book every single week. So these are going to be the next 2 that I read. If you didn't know that, now you know I'm a big dork. So they have recommend books at the bottom. And there is also a book club through It Works through, what is her name? Oh my gosh. Aspen, the new regional field development manager, but I don't know too much about that. But if you guys are interested in that, I could let you know. And then it has like a section on like how many points you want to earn this week. So I would highly, highly recommend printing this out tonight after we get off this and filling it out, and then put it somewhere where you'll see it every single day. Put it on your mirror, put it, you know, that's probably the best place to put it because we look in the mirror every day. So put it on your mirror or in your office or like the front of a binder or something. Like you want to be able to see this every day. And then right across the top, what your goal is. And I want everybody to screenshot. Hey, Lysandra. I want everybody to screenshot when theirs is done and like taped up on their mirrors with their goals so that we can hold each other accountable to their goals. So does that sound good to everybody? And I'll do mine tonight too. This is the best one that they've done. So if you can't print it out, that's okay. Just handwrite it. I know poor Aubrey's no power. Well, you have power now, so that's good. But some people don't have printers, so just handwrite it. So that's a really good tool. And then I want to talk to you guys about this point system. And I do want to open this up for questions. So feel free to unmute yourself. There's the microphone buttons at the bottom, or if you want, it's in the chat too. It's hard for me to look at the chat and this, but if there's other questions, then Hannah or Autumn can tell me. But okay, so this November point system. So this is really cool. So basically what it works is trying to do indirectly is teach us to do the steps to success. And they're rewarding us with $100 bonuses for completing these steps to success week after week after week. So I watched a training a couple days ago. Ryan and I watched it, and it was like this girl had, what did she make, like $2,400 or something crazy just in the Friday bonuses from the October contest. And I don't think like it had really connected with us that like this is like a real huge tool to make a lot of money for Christmas. Like we just thought it was like, oh, it's like cool, he has $100 here, $100 there. But this chick made $2,400 in 4 weeks on top of her commissions. Yeah. So the last week of October, like I literally like put the pedal to the metal on these points. And like this Friday, I think I'm going to have $400 from the October points. So I want to teach you guys how to get these points, how to track it and all that stuff. So, and then we're going to do like a couple of examples. So it seems easy enough, but for some reason it was a little complicated for me, but here's how it goes. So it's a 5-point system. Anytime you get 5 points, you automatically get paid $100 the following Friday. It's like a fast start. So like it comes out on like the Thursday or the Friday or whatever. And then, yeah, so sorry. So every 5 points you get it. And then you also get Jeep entries too for every, I think it's every point, every 5 points. Let me see. Let me make sure on that one. I forget about the Jeep. Hannah wants that Jeep. She already named it. Let me see. Oh yeah, so they get you get an entry into the Jeep entry for every point that you earn during the promotion. So if you earn 5 points, you get $100 and you get 5 Jeep entries. So this chick had like 215 Jeep entries or something crazy. So we need to get on that level, like basically, like let's pay for Christmas in cash, okay? So anytime you sign a customer up, you get 1 point. Here's the deal with the customer though. If you have distributors under you and you transfer that customer to your distributors, you don't get that point. But that's okay, because if your customer gets if your distributor gets 4 customers, you get 5 points. So it's like you can keep 4 customers under you and get 4 points, or you can enroll a distributor and help them get 4 customers and get the $100 that way, plus 2 extra points for enrolling a distributor. So there's a couple different ways to get it. So that means, so every distributor you sign, you also get 2 points. They do have to have an auto shipment set up, or it will be when the 150 hits. Like once they hit 150, then it gets paid out. So if they don't have an auto ship set up, you're not going to get those 2 points. So that's a big thing. Make sure they have their points set up. And then, like I just said, when you enroll a distributor, personally enroll them, like you enroll them, not somebody transfers them to you, but you actually enroll them. As soon as they get 4 customers, they get their shopping spree and you get $100. And then anytime that somebody on your team goes Ruby, you get 4 more points, 4 out of the 5. So let's say if you wanted to get $200 Friday, like let's say you needed $200 to pay a bill, or you wanted to buy something for your kids or whatever, you need $200. What are like some of the ways that you guys can do that? Like you can put it in the chat, or you can say it on here. I'll give you an example. One would be to sign 5 distributors. That would give you $200 because that's 10 points. Or you could sign 10 customers. That would be 200 points. I'm really sick, you guys, so my brain is like fried. So a couple different ways that you can do the points. If you sign up a distributor, you get 2 points, and then you help them get 4 more customers, you get 5 more points. So you get 7 points for every single distributor that you enroll that signs up 4 loyal customers. That's the fastest way to get your points. And that's what a lot of people were making their videos about. The other thing that I want to add to this is you still get fast start bonuses. So your goal this month should be enrolling distributors, because distributors are going to be the key to what's going to get you the $100 fast start and the $100 November bonus. So let's say I'm signing a girl up on Friday. I'm not going to say her name because she probably watch this later, but I'm signing her up on Friday. Okay. So that's 2 points. If I help her get 2 customers, I get $100 fast start. If she gets 2 more on her own, I get $100 November bonus and she gets her shopping spree. So it's like a win-win for everybody. Like that's the fastest way that you can get points is through enrolling distributors. So typically, I'm a high distributor enroller. Yeah, Tila said 2 DTs and 8 LCs. Yeah, perfect. Yep, exactly. I'm a high enroller for distributors because I feel like sometimes my customer market gets tapped out. I do have, I do probably sign between 10 and 20 customers a month just from Instagram, but every time you enroll a distributor, you're opening up a huge market. You're opening up a whole new network that you never had before, right? So I sign up Autumn, and now I've met Autumn, and we have all of Autumn's network to work with as far as getting more customers and distributors. So your focus should always be on growing your team primarily, and then helping them be successful. And by helping them be successful, you're going to get paid a lot of money. So, and they're going to get paid money. So that's the point system. So do you guys have questions on that? Like, or is it pretty self-explanatory? I mean, I'm going for a thousand this month. What were you gonna say, Hannah?
Melissa, I wanted to, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask something, but so kind of make this be aware, but I'm pretty sure, so when you're first sign up as a distributor, you're automatically commission qualified because you bought the business builder kit.
Mm-hmm.
But since we have the shopping spree going on and all these points, I'm pretty sure that even though the DT is commission qualified already, they still have to have their auto shipment ran or 150 BV, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I just wanted to make that known because I was like, oh, they're commission qualified, but then I couldn't figure out why the shopping isn't in effect yet. So everyone make sure that their distributors are also setting up their 80 BV auto shipment, or at least having 150 in volume. So I want to make sure you guys know that too. When you are signing up DTs, make sure they go ahead and set up their auto shipment or get 150 in volume.
Yeah, perfect. And even if they don't plan on running it, we have 30 days to turn it off. So like whenever I enroll a new distributor, I always tell them, set up your auto shipment and we're going to work for that 150. And as soon as you have 150 in sales, then we'll turn it off. So I don't really like give them the option not to do it because you miss out on so many things when your distributors aren't running their auto shipments for their first month. And so do they. I mean, yeah, the shopping spree, they could lose their shopping spree if they don't have it set up. And then we lose out on like the bonuses and stuff too. So that was good. I actually submitted a ticket because I had 2 distributors that I enrolled and their points haven't shown up yet. And it's because they didn't have auto shipment set up. So I didn't even realize that that was a thing until I started, I emailed them and then I went through the rules today in like detail. But, and then I think it's cool that we get Jeep entries too. So I feel like this month we should do like a contest on who gets the most points. Think about that.
I'm in.
I'm in. Yeah. Can I win? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay.
Put me down.
What's that? Put you down?
Put me in contest.
Okay. I'll have to think of something. That's a good one. All right. Perfect. So that was the points. Let me see if there's any questions. How many do you get from going Ruby? It's actually 4. You get 4 when somebody on your team goes Ruby. But you also get all the additional points if you're helping them get to Ruby, like if you put DTs under them and LCs under them. So, okay. Any other questions on the point system? Are you good? Okay, I did post about it today on our page, and it has a couple of different examples and stuff. So I'm going to do something fun with that tonight once we get done. All right. So now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Autumn, and she is going to talk about social media do's and don'ts. This was a question that Aubrey had, and I think this is really good for us to all go over because this is what's going to make or break your business because we are in network marketing. So your social network has to be appealing. It has to look good. It has to have like certain things to like really make it work. So Autumn, while you're talking, I'm actually going to screen share your Instagram, if that's okay. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to unmute you, Autumn, and then go ahead and take it away.
Well, I really wasn't expecting to be first, but hi everybody. I can't hear anybody, so I guess I'll just talk to myself. So, I guess I'll start with don'ts, or I'll do Instagram since that's what Melissa's screen sharing. Okay, so with my Instagram, I feel like it has a pretty pleasant vibe to it. Like when you look at my Instagram, it really catches your attention because it's not, I guess, sloppy, I could say. Like I have this whole thing where I put different posts about different stuff. I'll put up a family picture. I'll put up a picture about my kid. I'll put up a before and after picture, motivational post, what I'm eating with like a product, things like that, but they all coincide to it works with the caption. So somehow, some way, they're about it works. Like that picture I put up of Carter. When you see it, it just looks like, okay, he's trick-or-treating. But in the caption, I put something about, okay, I was talking with somebody, I was talking with one of the moms at the daycare, and she said she's going to sign up. Thanks, it works, for allowing me to have Halloween and spend it with Carter and make money and all that good stuff. So yeah. If anybody's wondering about the white borders, it's this app called Pick Tap Go, and it's really cool. It really makes your Instagram look special, like it pops. It's not just all cluttered up and everything's touching everything. So it's a one-time fee, I think, of like $1.99. I would definitely invest to it. I know I've had a few of you all inbox me about my followers and how I'm getting my Instagram followers, because I think currently I'm going to get off for a second. I'm going to look at my Instagram because I can't really see it off Melissa's thing. I have about 6,000, and I'm only following about 1,000. So I have this app called Captivate, and I believe I have an iPhone, but I believe they have it on Android too. So what I do is Tuesday through Sunday, I find my audience that I'm trying to, I guess, attract in a sense. Does that update your camera? Does that update your? Hold on a second. My phone's going slow. Sorry, guys. Does it update your current posts or only new ones? New posts. I had to start completely over. So if you scroll down a whole lot, you'll see where my posts were touching and everything was all together. So it's for new posts going forward. And I actually took some of the old posts and I just put them where I thought they were appropriate. So I deleted them out. I copied them and pasted them and deleted them out and just put it up again. But Captivate. So I find my audience that I'm trying to attract. Like, for example, I know Shelby is a police wife. So she could do hashtags like police wife or something like that. But I usually do like mom life or weight loss journey because, you know, we sell health and wellness products and most of us are moms. So when I go to Captivate, when I go to Instagram and I search the hashtags, I find a picture that usually has like over 1,000 likes. And I go to that person's page and I look at their Instagram. If they have the K, that's the goal. If they have the K, that means they look like they're important. They look like they're somebody, like they're really doing something. So I take their username and I go to Captivate, and you'll have to play with it a little bit. I had to play with it first, but I'll go to followers and I'll follow the people that aren't following me. And I press action, and that's how you do it. And I follow them every hour or so via the app. So when I follow them, they're going to follow me back. And I have my Instagram set on private, so I can see who's trying to follow me. So if it's people that I'm not trying to attract, I'm not trying to attract men. Nothing against men. I'm more focused on the women audience. So I unfollow them and I let them follow me. So that's one less person that I'm following, but they're following me. And the people that I say, hey, their page looks nice, or I might want to contact them, I still follow them and I let them follow me too. So I do that for about a week straight, and I keep my Captivate up 24/7. And I get about 500 to 1,000 followers a week. On Monday is my unfollow day. It is where is it at? Instagram Cleaner app. So I go under following, and I unfollow everybody that I'm following that isn't following me. That way my followers are always more than my following. Because if you have more people that you're following than are following you, you look desperate. You like you're trying so hard to get followers. You look like, I need people. That's not what we want to look like. We're trying to get to the K, and we're trying to have less people that we're following than are following us. You could if you wanted to. I could if I wanted to. What, Hannah? I'm sorry.
It says for the can you make multiple accounts on Instagram or Facebook? I'm not that comfortable adding strangers to my personal account. Yeah, you can, Jessica. What I did with my Instagram, I basically made my Instagram my business. It's personal, but I don't have my warm market on it. Everybody on my Instagram is what Autumn was just talking about as far as like following people and following like people. My friends and family are only on my Facebook. So I use Instagram really to like, and it depends on where your social network is stronger. But like for me, I probably do 75% to 90% of my business on Instagram. So I wouldn't do like an It Works only Facebook or an It Works only Instagram, because you won't get followers that way. But you want to have a page that looks like a personal page, but that you don't have anybody that you actually really know following you, if that makes sense. Am I explaining that right?
I think it makes sense.
Okay. But I don't recommend doing separate accounts, because you literally won't be able to, like if you have an It Works account and you're trying to follow people, as soon as they see before and after pictures, or they see that it's only It Works, they're not going to follow you back. So they want to follow the person, not the business.
Right. Also with Instagram, I've actually been not copying, but taking examples from uplines, like their bios. They always seem like real strong woman bios. And I really worked hard on my bio, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's something simple, but it caught a few people's attention, and I got a lot more feedback when I put my bio up. It was like, it's woman CEO. I can't load it because my phone's acting crazy, but it's woman CEO, and it's like boy mom and my relationship status, and then it's saying something like be humble, be hungry, and always be the hardest worker in the room. Like, put something describing yourself and letting them know that in a subtle way that you are a business owner. Like, don't just make it works, because that's going to scare people off. Also, once I changed my profile picture, I also noticed a lot more feedback. Nobody wants to buy anything from a person who looks all mean and just in their profile picture smile. That's also something I learned too from one of the uplines. Do's and don'ts, I guess, would be like, don'ts are touchy subjects, like, for example, race or sexual orientation or stuff that people get in arguments about. Ratchet stuff, people fighting, sexually explicit videos, a whole bunch of cursing. That's gonna scare people off. Nobody wants to buy anything from somebody that can offend others. What's the one that cleans out? It's called the Cleaner app for Instagram. But if I see somebody that's cursing all the time on Facebook or putting up negative stuff like, oh my gosh, I want to kill myself, or that was a bad example, but that's the first thing I thought of. Oh my gosh, I want to kill myself, or fussing and fighting, or nobody wants to buy from someone like that. You have to have a very open, friendly, warming feeling with your page, because you're not just Autumn anymore. You're Autumn, the It Works business owner. I don't really know what else to say.
I think that was perfect. I think that was a really good overview, and I'm excited that Autumn wanted to talk about this, because she's been working really hard on her Instagram, and it's really starting to pay off. And I mean, 6,000 6,500 followers and only 1,500 following you back. Like, that's so insane. I'm jealous. I have to get rid of some people following me, or that I'm following, I guess. But let's see if anybody has questions, because that was a good overview. So key points that she talked about: nice profile picture. You want it to be just you. You don't want it to be you and your kids. You just want it to be like a headshot of you. A bio at the top that describes your life, and then clean, crisp pictures. Lots of pictures with your friends and family, lots of pictures of food, you know, whatever you like to do, like do pictures of that, and then a sprinkle of it works. And all of your posts, like what Autumn was saying about the Carter one, even though it's a picture of your kids, in the caption, mine are all it works posts, but you would never know by looking at it. So that's like a big key. So thank you, Autumn, for going over that. And does anybody have questions for Autumn?
Anybody?
Good job, Autumn. Proud of you. Okay, so perfect. All right. So then the next thing we're going to go over, is how to, why is this not working? Oh, there we go. Okay. How to sign distributors. So I'm just going to do this really quickly, like I said. So the best way that I could say, if you're just starting out with the business, sorry about my kids, you guys. If you're just starting out with the business, what I did when I very first started was I called like my warm market, like my friends and family. And I said like flat out to them, like, I am doing this business and I'm going to go to the top with this business. Do you want to do it with me or do you not want to do it with me? Like, I kind of was just like, if you don't, you're going to miss out, because I'm going to do this and I'm going to make a lot of money. And if you want to do it with me, we could do it together. And I actually signed a lot that way. But I will tell you that I think actually Autumn is the only person on my original diamond chart that's still with the business besides my husband. So warm market, I mean, it's a great way to get started, but what you want to do is you really want to go out there and put yourself out there and find people that you want to be on your team. And how you do that is you need to add to your network every day. So one of the things on here is like a day in the life. What should an average day look like? Well, every day you should be adding people to Facebook and Instagram. Captivate makes it really easy to do it on Instagram. You can set it up like Autumn said, and it runs 24 hours a day. Facebook is a little bit harder because Facebook's a more personal environment. So, but you want to try to add several hundred people every single day to your Instagram. And I would say 50 to 100 people a day on Facebook. And then what you start doing is you just start interacting with those people. Like and comment on their posts, like start building a relationship with them, that kind of thing. So what I do is and I've taught this before, but I always have a dream team list every week where I will go through my Instagram and my Facebook and have them, and I will write down a list of 25 names. So on Sunday I do this. And then, hold on, let me tell my kids to be quiet for a second. They're like way loud. Hold on, sorry. Okay, sorry. So on Sundays, I will go through my Facebook and my Instagram, and I'll make a list of 25 people. You can start with 10, whatever you're comfortable with. And then what I do is all week long, I will like or comment on their posts, you know, Monday through Thursday. And then Friday, I will usually send them a message after I've already like kind of made, you know, established a relationship with them. And I will send them a very personalized message and say, hey, you know, I've been following your Instagram all week and I really like this, this, and this. I think you would be really great at what I do. Have you ever thought about making work at home or joining It Works or whatever? And then what you do, I mean, it's really simple. You just give them a little blurb about what It Works is. If they say yes, and I will put it in. So let's say I send them a message and they say, oh yeah, you can only follow 40 an hour. Yeah. Okay. Let's say I send them a message and I say, hey, you know, would you be interested in joining It Works? Blah, 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 blah. And they say, can you tell me more about it? So then I send them this blurb right here that I'm about to send you guys. But basically, it's the general, I run my own business with a company called It Works. We carry over 30 different health, beauty, and weight loss products, all from natural ingredients. I work out daily, use the products with my team to do the same, work with my team to do the same. post about personal product results and the business on social media, and do everything from my phone while taking care of my little. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? And I have that saved in a text shortcut. So literally all I put in my phone is something like WDYD, and that blurb comes up. So that way I don't have to go back and forth and copy and paste. So if you need the text shortcut video, it's 8 minutes long from Kelly Brown. It's on Kelly Brown's Instagram. We can send that to you. Life-changing if you're sending lots of messages. And if they say yes, all you have to do is get them on an event. So you guys probably noticed if you were on the work from home event, Hannah, Autumn, and I probably added 20 people to that event after that event ended. So we find these people, we give them the information, they say they're interested, and even if the event's in the past, you can still put that, you can still add a person to that. So I'll just say, hey, okay, great. Yeah, if you want some more information, we just had this awesome event on Facebook. Do you have 10 minutes right now to read through it real quick? And if they say yes, I say, okay, cool. So then I will just go onto the event and I will tag them in the welcome post and just explain like, hey, this is the event we just talked about. Click see discussion and you'll see all the posts. I'll message you in 10 minutes to see what you thought. So that way they know that you're going to read it, that you're expecting them to read it right now. And you're not like, because some people will be like, oh, okay, and then they never read it. And then you check it back in with them later and they're like, oh, I forgot to check the event out. So you want to tag them and then you want to send them the link also to the event. So I probably sent 25 people over to that event last month, and out of those 25, I signed 4. So you start to get like a ratio of, you start to really figure out like how many do I have to send to get one, you know, so as many messages I have to, you know, maybe 25 to 4, you know, I'll interact with 25 people to get 4 distributors any day. And I think Hannah, you signed 1 or 2 from that too, right? And Autumn has a couple signings. So that's honestly, like, that's it. Like I don't go into the information about the commissions. I don't go into the compensation plan. I don't even talk about the $99 because it's all in the event. And the events like really pump people up because they see the people that are successful. They see what the business is about. They know it's not a scam. That event had like 600 people on it. So it just gets people hyped up, and literally it takes care, it does the work for you. So that's like the biggest key that I can give you guys for signing distributors is network, build a relationship, interact with them, message them, and then get them on an event and then follow up with them. It's a lot of steps and it takes a lot of time, but it's worth it. Let's say, you know, you put all the time together and it takes you 2 hours total, but you make $100 off their fast start and $100 off of a November bonus. That was 2 hours well spent, right? You're not going to make that at any other job that you're in. So that's how I do that. So are there any questions about distributors? Oh, so Tila said, so you create a short list from the people you have added from that week. Yeah, so what I do is I write down their names on a piece of paper, and then I turn their notifications on Instagram. So if you pull up their profile, there's the 3 dots at the top corner. You can click on that and you can turn on their post notifications, and then anytime they post something, you get an alert. That way, you don't have to like, at first I wasn't doing that, and I was like going through all 25 people and like searching them all night, and it took me forever to like find them and message them and stuff. So now I just turn the notifications on for that, and then when I move on to the next list, I turn those notifications off. Or if it's somebody that is a maybe, I leave their notifications on, and I just continue to build that relationship, but I may not message them. Those are the people that come back, you know, 2-3 months down the road that you've, you know, made a connection with, and then they come to you and tell you they're ready. Those are the ones that do the best, are the ones that come to you. So, and then let me see on here. Okay, perfect. All right. And then next is going to be Miss Beautiful Hannah. It's going to go over, she's like the LC queen. I don't know. She's crazy. She signed so many customers. So she's going to go over how to sign customers. So I'm going to
Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first of all, I hope I'm not going to be talking all over the place because I have notes like all over. Melissa's like, you know, you want to talk about LCs? I'm like, Sure, hold on. So I'm going to try to keep this as organized and wonderful as Autumn and Melissa have already kept things rolling. So I'm going to try to talk just as good as they did. Okay, so first thing about signing loyal customers. It sounds simple, but you gotta just keep telling yourself, I promise you will find success when you keep doing this. Consistency. Consistency is the biggest success you will have in getting customers, okay? Because I've been guilty on being non-consistent, and guess what? I didn't reach my goal that month. And I'm telling you guys, I reached my goal. The past 2 months, I've been reaching my goals because I didn't give up and I stayed with consistency. So what I mean by that is the biggest thing where I find myself not being consistent is, for whatever reason, I just get so like caught up on saying, I catch myself saying, well, I think I have a potential, and then I'm good, I'm done. And I don't worry about anybody else. I'm just focusing on that one potential. But guess what? That potential just kind of like left me on the desk and didn't want to get back to me. And then I wasted all this time hoping that this one person would buy from me, and they never did, when I could have been utilizing that time and I could have been messaging other people. And that person, and you guys know as well as I do that, you know, everybody's different, and everybody will give you, you'll get the same answers, you'll get different answers. But you just don't know. You could have enrolled, you could have talked to 5 people within that hour that they didn't get back to you, or never. And those could have been 5 people that said yes right away, or you could have at least had 2 people that said yes right away. So the biggest thing that I always try to keep in the back of my mind on pushing myself and really committing to my goal on getting that LC is staying consistent. So I really wanted to share that with you. That's my little pep talk that I kind of tell myself all the time, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So let's see. Something that I've actually been doing that's new to me, but I'm finding that it's really working. So when I first started, you know, copy paste, setting scripts, and yes, it'll work, but I wasn't finding too much success in that. And what I mean by that is I'm reaching out just a little more. You can still, it's so simple. Like, we have so many scripts out there, and really all it is you still are copying and pasting these scripts, but I'm just taking just a little extra mile. So like we've already talked about, like what Melissa does and what she talked about with the distributors, and what Autumn talks about on her page. So you're already creating a profile. You're already, when you add them, you know, you're going through their pictures, you're liking their pictures, okay? So you're already kind of getting your name out there. So you've already done that. So guess what? When you've messaged that person, you can't tell me that person's not going to look at your page. Because if someone reached out to me and said, hey, you want to be a product tester? I'm going to say, I don't even know who this chick is. Like, I don't even remember who this person is. I don't, like, who is this? Do I know this person? So I'm going to look at their page, and then I'm going to see what they're talking about. So just for example, real quick, Autumn, like if Autumn messaged me, I would go to her page and I'd be like, wow, this girl looks just like she was talking about. Like, this person looks pretty important. She has 6,000 followers. Let's see what she's talking about, this product model, you know. And I would see maybe she was reaching out to me because she has 1 spot left for the Fat Fighters, and she shared a picture of it. You know, that's going to intrigue me a little bit more. So so it's really not hard to go that extra mile, because you've already have created a nice profile. You've already sent them the request and, you know, liked a couple of their pictures. So I just do one more extra little step that I've been doing recently, and I've been finding out I've been getting a little bit more success back. So when someone sends me a request, or if they accept my request, I send them a message, you know, just kind of basically saying, you know, hey, here I am. And I just say something sweet, simple. I love emojis. That's like my second language. So I send little emojis. And I'm like, hey, thank you so much for the ad back. I love your page. And just as simple as that, I let it go. I don't, you know, go straight to it works. I just let them know, like, hey, here I am. Nice to meet you. And some people say, you know, thank you so much. That's the sweetest thing ever. I actually, I think I got a DT from doing one of those too. And, you know, and then that's a good way to start a conversation. So then I just leave it like that. And then I go on my day with adding more followers, you know, following up with my potentials that I've already talked to. Okay. So say the next day goes on. So those people that I just messaged, and if they messaged me back and we had like a short, sweet conversation, like, oh, thank you so much, you're welcome. Then I'll reach out to them and I'll be like, hey, you know, and then whatever the script is. I've actually been doing the hair, skin, and nails one. I was pushing that like crazy for the month's end. So I was doing that on the people I messaged, and I would just keep it personal, you know, say, hey girl, so I know and remember I said, hey, thank you for the ad. I love your page. So since I said that, they know I'm looking at their page. So then I just throw in a little extra and I say, hey, so I hope I don't sound like a creepo, but I can't stop running into your page. And I just want to let you know, like, your hair is gorgeous. Would you be interested in being a product model for me? You know, and then we can kind of get into the conversation. So you're still copying and pasting the scripts. It's still pretty easy. You're not like having to get books out of scripts. You're not having to like spend hours and hours talking to someone. But you're just taking that little extra mile. So that's something I've been doing that I feel like it's been a little bit more rewarding in the end. And then unfortunately you'll have the times where you'll do all that. And how many messages do I send a day? Well, I want to send as many as I can. I don't really have any goals, just because with my work, I work 8 to 4:30. So once I get home, I'm just trying to message. So since I've been doing what I've just recently mentioned, I kind of have a routine now. So I do the Captivate, you know, and once a week I'll clean up all the all the people who aren't following me back. And once I get a request in, once I accept their request, I will like their pictures. You know, obviously I screen their page, make sure I want them to be in my audience, in my the people I want to reach out to. So once I screen their page and I see that they would be a good potential, I accept their request. I like a couple of their pictures. I might comment on it. And then I'll copy and paste that message and say, hey, thank you for the ad back. I love your page. So first, I send that to every single person. So that's depending on who sent me a request, you know, maybe 5 people, maybe, you know, 30 people, depending on how many I do those messages. And then depending on the people I've talked to, I send those messages out too. And then I've actually been trying to, Melissa mentioned earlier, she does most of her business on Instagram, and I'm the same way. But my challenge to myself is really pushing myself to get on Facebook a little bit more and to be extra personal with people. So I'm trying to work on Facebook as well. So I've been sending a lot of potential messages on Facebook too. I'm trying to read about Autumn's messages on here. Let me see. Oh, Autumn, you can go ahead and ask your question if you want to.
I had 2, but I forgot the second one. So the first one, was for the loyal customers. How many times do you message them in a row before you're like, okay, they don't want to be bothered? Or before, because I have people that say, try me next Friday, or try me on the 13th, or try me on the 16th. And it's like, how many times? And do you say something like, hey, I'm not trying to spam you, but just wanted to know if I need to take you off my list? Do you say something like that, or how do you go about it?
Yeah, I definitely follow up with people, and it's hard to tell you like a number and the exact thing, because it really just depends on how the conversation's going and if you know the person, if you don't. Because I'm going to be honest, like, I have a friend who I've been trying to get be my DT for months, and I probably message her like once a month, like, girl, be my DT. Like, it's, you know, but as far as like a random stranger and, you know, just a cold messaging kind of thing. So like, let's say I sent the, hey, thanks for being my friend.
Can I ask my question before I forget? I'm so sorry. I feel like it's about to slip.
Say Say it, girl. Say it.
Okay. So when you when you send the message out, when they originally follow you, do you just send that out to people that you're interested in or to everybody? Because like I was saying, guys, people that have weird pictures, I don't follow them, but I let them follow me. Do you send them messages too, or just potentials?
I send them to, so the only people who I let follow me are people who would be my potentials, either a distributor or a customer. So I don't let, guys follow me, just personal preference. If they speak English, if they don't speak English, I don't let them follow me. If they're sell another company, I don't let them follow me. So So anybody who follows me, who I let follow me, would be a potential. So I send that to everybody. And the thing I love about that message is because you can use that's such an inviting message for a distributor or a customer. Because I actually started sending that message out originally because I'm trying to, Melissa mentioned earlier, and especially with these point systems going on, I'm really trying to focus on getting distributors. And I thought that's actually why I sent that message out, because saying, hey, I love your page, that's letting them know that I love your page. I think you'd be great at what I do because you already have an amazing page and it would be easy to rock this business. So actually, that's why I kind of came up with the whole, I like your page. But then I thought, you know what? Even if, let's be honest, I'm going to be real honest with you. Even if I didn't like their page, I'm still sending that message, okay? I feel a little bad, but I'm like, you know what? It's still a very nice thing to say to somebody. It's a nice compliment. And even if I don't like their page, I'll just keep that in mind and it can still be a potential customer. So it's like a win-win message to somebody. And then to answer your first question about if they don't, how many times I respond to them and just kind of cut ties. I don't keep messaging them, to be honest, if they're a random person, a cold message potential. So let's say I said, that message, and then I said for her to be a hair product model, I'll send you the details, and they say, sure. So then I send them the details, and then I'll say, would you like to see my personal results? Because I actually, I have personal results. And if they say sure, I wait for them to reply, and then I share my picture. And guys, during this month's end, and a lot of times, I do all that whole conversation with someone, and then that's it. They're gone. They don't say anything back. And I'm like, oh, where are you at? I was so close. Are you serious? So that's okay. I just let them know my last but not least script I have. And it's, a lot of things that we share on our power hours or on our team pages, our scripts, but it'll be seriously, this product's amazing. It's normally 55, but you can get it for 33. Would you like this last spot I have available? And then I don't hear anything from them. So that's what I talked about earlier. I move on to the next one. I stay consistent. Okay. And then the next day when I'm going through my messages and I see that they never replied, I have a bunch of follow-up messages. Depending on how organized you want to be or whatever way you want to be, the way I'm organized is I have notes on my phone and I save notes, and I have tons of follow-up messages I'll be more than happy to share on here on our chat. But I have so many, it's ridiculous. I have follow-up messages for DTs. I have follow-up messages for LCs. But one of them the other day was just I can't tell you word for word, but basically it was something like, hey, just want to let you know that somebody is interested in hair, skin, and nails, and this product is, I can't keep this product in stock fast enough, and I know you're interested, so I want to get a hold of you first before my spot is, off the table. You interested? And then if they don't, after I send a follow-up message like that and they still don't reply, then I just, move on to the, I can still continue to move on to the next one, but I won't keep messaging them. I'll just leave it up to them to message me back.
I know in that situation too, just for me personally, I've started unfollowing those people just so I don't message them again, but then they're still following me. So if they change their mind later, they can follow me, because once you reach a certain amount of people that you're following, you can't add anymore. You can only have 7,500 people following you. So once you get to that point, you literally have to delete anybody that you is not a potential anymore. So, but they still see you. So just get in the habit of like, once you've reached out to them those few times and you give them that final message and you're like, okay, they still haven't responded, just unfollow them so you don't message them again. But then it still leaves it open for you that they can message you.
That's a really good point, because so another thing I do for customers is like, once you guys are posting your product posts, or any posts that you want, anybody that likes my posts, I send them a message and I say, hey, thank you for the love on my my page or on my post. Are you interested? But before I do that, like Melissa just mentioned, you guys don't know like how many times I will someone like my picture and I'll go to message them and I'll see that I'm not following them. And I'm like, why am I not following this person? And then I'll go, oh yeah, duh. I unfollowed them because they were interested. So that kind of helps me and saves me some time. And at the same time, the point just that Melissa made, and also, that's an extra person to like my picture. So, you don't have to like block them, but just unfollow them and delete the message so it clears up your space, and it helps you, not to keep bugging that person. I think that's most of them. Let me just see what I have written down and then we can move on. But stay confident when you're talking to someone, and just have a conversation with them. Let me see. Your 100s list, I always have that next to me when I'm on social media and I'm reaching out to other people, especially when it gets closer to the month's end, I need to reach out to people. I definitely see who's on my 100s list. Don't overthink it. Just be confident about it. Message anyone. Oh, and then when I'm talking to people, I don't mention auto ship. I always say like a 90-day product tester. So, and you guys will see that in our scripts a lot, where we'll say, well, if they want to be like a 90-day product tester, or that actually sounds a little bit flattering than, like 3 months. I always kind of say 90 days. So you guys will kind of pick up on that too when we share our scripts, that will mention things like that. So I stick towards those words instead of auto ship. So that's pretty much all I have to say, is just, those are my top things. I just try to have a conversation with them. I just try to be confident about something. And the best thing about it is you're not on your own. Okay. Melissa knows this for a fact. And to this day, I send her questions all the time. She's my upline, but feel free to, if you don't know what to say back to someone, screenshot it and send it to your upline and say, what do I say to this person? And you guys will pick up on it, and it's just easy. But just, be proud about this product, about this company, and just be confident. And the best thing you can do is, if you have results and personal results, share those, because that will help you out a lot. And also, we have this amazing thing about blitzing. It doesn't even have to be all on social media. The best thing that I found out was on blitzing. And actually, I'm going to answer partial of this question. Someone asked, what's the best way to go about blitzing or talking about It Works in public without being like too sales pitchy or too like in your face. And just to answer a little bit about that is, I find it, obviously it's easy to wear if you're wearing the clothing. That's the easy opener. I wore a shirt that says "Living the Dream," and someone was like, "Oh, living the dream, what's that all about?" And then I'm talking about It Works. But you don't even have to be wearing the clothing. You don't, to talk about the business. One of the other things, I'll say 3 more things, and I promise you guys, I will stop stealing the show. Okay. One of the things is the greens or any kind of drink. I would always get these cute green cups and cover my drinks, because I'm like, oh, it's so cute. But guess what? If I found out it's a lot better to drink your drink where they can see it. So drink it like in a clear cup, because I drink that at work, and so many people are like, what's in your cup? What are you drinking? And then, wow, next thing you know, you're talking about, oh my gosh, you want to try it? Or you want me to bring you some tomorrow? And it's this and it has this. So you're already talking about the greens. The second one was fat fighters. So for example, in my everyday is I pack my fat fighters in my lunchbox. So I'm in a room full of my coworkers at lunch, and I'm just taking out my fat fighters, and I'm not standing up and doing an infomercial or anything. I'm just sitting there, you know, finishing my lunch, and I'm taking it, and the people next to me are asking about it, or they see it, and then I can talk about it. And then last but not least, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have not done this, but I'm going to do it. I will do it. But it sounds so simple, and I need to do it. But you can just leave those Blitz cards. I have left Blitz cards, but I want to do this so bad. So I know the best way also to do that is, like, for example, if you're sitting down with your family and you're at dinner, and say you've had like the best, you know, waitress or even waiter take care of you, give them a big, tip them nice, but always tip nice. But also take a little time. Don't just leave the Blitz card and run. Don't just sit on the table. Make that just a 2-second conversation and just really compliment them and let them know what a great job they've done, and tell them that you think that they would be amazing at what you do and you're hiring, and just kind of leave it there and leave your card and your number, and then they can get a hold of you. Just things like that. So those are good ways to get customers. I hope I answered all the questions. If anyone has any more questions, you can let me know. What's that, Autumn? No, you're okay.
I know Hillary asked me a question. I didn't get to it. She asked me why I don't let men follow me. So I let men follow me. I just don't follow men for 2 reasons. I love men. I have a man and I have a son. So it's nothing against men. It's just 2 reasons. One, there was a point in time where I was, you know, trying to be equal and trying to attract men and women, but it got to a point where men were more interested in trying to waste my time and get with me than actually interested in what I was talking about. And that wastes time because I'm communicating back and forth and I'm trying to talk about this and they're trying to slide in there, and we all know how guys can be. So that's one thing. And another thing is I can't relate with men. I'm a single mom. I mean, technically speaking, I'm a single mom. The average man isn't a single mom. The average man doesn't get stretch marks from pregnancy. The average man doesn't deal with the mom duties like I do every day. They do man stuff, like play 2K or go buy beer. I don't know. So that's me personally, but I do let them follow me because there may be a man that does have stretch marks because he's gained weight or lost weight, or there may be a man that does work out and he has loose skin and he may be interested in the wraps. I do actually have a lot of men that inbox me. It's just I'm more targeted on somebody that I can relate with and that 8 times out of 10 is not trying to get with me to waste my time. So that's my personal reason. But our products work for everybody. So whatever you're comfortable with, that's just my reason.
Perfect. I think that was a great answer, and I agree with that. All right, cool. So I think we pretty much went over like what an average day should look like. So if you guys have questions on that, we'd be happy to answer. But you have to work your business every single day. If you want to be successful, I would say that's the thing, like Hannah talked about, consistency. Even if it's just 5 minutes or it's just 10 minutes, like if you're working full-time, because I worked full-time up till April, that's when I really used Hootsuite a lot, when I could plan out my posts ahead of time. So I would like follow my people in the morning, and then I would do a couple posts on Hootsuite, and then at night I would message anybody who commented on or liked or commented on any of my pictures. And that's how I really got started. And it, you know, maybe it's 30 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day, but it's something as long as you're consistently putting yourself out there. Obviously now it works 40 hours a week, but that's more to support the team than to do the actual work, you know, actual messaging and stuff. I probably do maybe 30 minutes of that every day still. So we're going to let you guys ask us questions. I think we're going to skip charting because my babysitter just left and my kids are downstairs by themselves. So we're going to have to come back to charting. And I might just make a video on it because it's kind of, it'd probably be easier just to explain it over a video. So I'll probably do that tomorrow, and then we could do a Zoom after. But we wanted to ask you guys for what questions you had for us, or if you had any feedback, if you liked what was going on with the team page, if you want us to bring back power hours, like what can we do to help you guys? And you can ask in the chat or on here. You can unmute yourself if you want. Nothing?
I know one of them, we did talk about this in between like everything else. So we threw this information in there here and there, but we can specifically talk about this topic real quick. But one of the questions on our team page, I don't remember who it was, but someone asked like, what a good post looks like. And again, I know we talked about it throughout all our information, especially Autumn showing her Instagram. But I can share it real quick, and if you guys want to chime in. But I know definitely number one, being a product of the product is the best post you can ever share. And then Melissa and Autumn were sharing that, like on your Instagram, you know, you have a picture of your kids trick-or-treating or, you know, something like that. And guess what? That could be a lifestyle post. That could be talking about you working the business, or this is what your office looks like. That's an amazing post. Talk about, I don't know, those are my two things I'm thinking on top of the head. You know, talk about, obviously money is going to be an amazing post. You know, I have the thing that I didn't think about, and I don't know, I wish I could give them a shout out. I don't remember who it was. Maybe Melissa told me, but the best thing you can do, I think it was you, Melissa, the best thing you can do about when you get paid is, like, say you get your $500 bonus or something like that. Go to the bank and deposit $100 bills. And that way you can have it in your hand, and it's, you know, you can show them like, I got this. This is the money that I got. And I have a picture where I got a $500 bonus, and I'm holding the $500 in my hand. So it's pretty self-explanatory. That was a pretty awesome post. So those are my 2-3 things that we can specifically talk about that. Those are really good posts to share.
To answer Jessica's question, and I'm going to answer this because I don't think anybody really on this team knows this but Melissa. This is my 3rd time with It Works. So I think I should be the appropriate person to answer that question. So Jessica, when it comes to the whole restarting thing, with me, it was, I just had to decide. That was it. I had to decide, and I had to figure out what was important and where my goal was be. And I just started. I was a little nervous because I was like, oh, these people are going to take me for a joke, and everyone's going to judge me, and they're going to think, oh, she's a quitter. But you just have to put all that to the side and just start and just post and start fresh every day and get outside of your comfort zone a little bit every day and keep your eyes on the prize and vent to your upline because I've vented to Melissa like 1,000 times a day. So, I mean, you just have to keep your eyes on the prize, stay close to the fire, keep yourself motivated, and just decide. And honestly, like this 3rd time, this is the best I've ever done with It Works. I've changed up a lot of stuff. I've gotten over myself. Things I just didn't want to do because I thought, oh, I don't need to do that. That's not necessary. I don't need to write their names down. That's not necessary. I don't need to do power hour. I don't need to. Yeah, you need to do it. You need to do it. You just have to decide. So to get started, you just start. Just start. And if you need help with posts, we have a great post page. We're all here. We normally answer our phones. We have our phones in our hand. I know Hannah always has her phone in the hand, and Melissa does, and I do. See? And I do. But you really just have to start and decide what's important. That's really all there is. It's just you. You have to decide to start. But anybody can do it.
Yeah, and then Jessica mentioned earlier too that normally she only has like time to post like here and there. So yeah, again, like Hootsuite, I actually, I'm not gonna lie, I actually use an app called Buffer, but it's just the same thing as Hootsuite. But I use that, and that helps me out a lot. So you know, I mean, I have the time, but it's just hard to find it sometimes. So when I'm laying in bed on my phone, that's usually when I set up buffer, and I set it up, space it out. I try to post 4 to 6 times a day, and I just try to space them out in between. So I'll space them out for like, every 2 hours or something like that, or, if needed. But I'll try to post my buffer the night before, so that way I'm not in the bathroom hiding, trying to hurry up and get a post real quick so I can keep my business open. And speaking of keeping your business open, I watched, it was a while ago, but Sherry Lynn mentioned something and it really stuck with me. But when you do that, it lets people know, like, we're not a business with, a roof on top of our head, and we're our business owners and we're on the go. And it's hard to let people know that actual open sign, like we're open. And when you post all the time, people are going to go up to you when they want to talk. They're going to, let's just, for example, like say one of my friends, say Bob, is doing It Works. It Works. We're just going to make up Bobby. And say Bobby's doing It Works, and she's done it for quite some time, but she doesn't post that much and she doesn't really talk about it that much. But at the same time, I'm posting about it and I'm talking about it. I just feel like someone's going to come up to me versus that person, since I seem pretty approachable and my business is always open. So that kind of stuck with me. So I always try to keep thinking, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to set up my buffer. I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'm going to do it because I want to let people know, like, I'm open. So I want to seem approachable. So I always keep that in the back of my mind too. So I wanted to share that with you guys.
Did anybody have any other questions, concerns, comments? No?
I think we went over pretty much it.
Thank you guys for getting on. I'm very happy for the 8 that took the time out to invest in their business. This means a lot to us. And the other 532 that didn't get on are not going to have as good of a November as you guys are. So we appreciate you guys getting on. Thank you. And feel free to ask questions in that group chat if things come up tonight that you have questions with, and we will do a charting training soon, I promise. My husband used to have Mondays off, or not Mondays off. He originally had today off, but then he got promoted, so now I had to go to work. So I was going to do charting, and I'm really sorry that I can't, but I will do it this month, I promise. So thank you guys. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Autumn. Great job.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.